Developing training for today's workforce presents several challenges. One of these challenges might be the age diversity within the workforce. Today's workforce includes people from at least 3 different generations: the baby boomers, born between 1943 and 1960, Generation X, born between 1961 and 1981, and the millennials, born between 1982 and 2003. You might wonder whether these different groups learn in the same way, or do they learn fundamentally differently? Baby boomers were born during the affluent post-war years, and most grew up with traditionally structured families. They were the first generation to grow up under the influence of television. They witnessed the civil rights movement, protests against the Vietnam War, and other significant events. Many Generation X children were latchkey kids, coming home to an empty house after school. They grew up with Sesame Street, saw the AIDS epidemic, and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Millennials grew up with computers. Major events during their youth were school shootings, such as Columbine, and corporate scandals, such as Enron. They were rewarded for participation as children and are often seen as having a sense of entitlement. Because of the increasing availability of personal electronic devices during their youth, millennials are often called digital natives. Many people suggest that millennials learn differently from older generations because of their experience with technology, and that they are better at using technology in a learning environment. Meanwhile, other generations are considered to be digital immigrants. But are they really that different when it comes to learning? One study found that all learners, regardless of age, prefer to learn by doing, and that there were no significant differences in the use of technology for education among different generations. And this wasn't the only study to come to this conclusion. A review of several recent studies found that many so-called digital natives have only a superficial understanding of technology and use it only for certain purposes that may not include education. They indicate that the generations are not so different in their ability to use technology for education, and suggest that all ages be called digital learners. Maybe the best advice is to teach millennials using the same methods that we use to teach adults, with learner-centered, active, and engaging educational experiences. So whether you're training in the classroom or developing online training, it's time to start treating millennials like adults.